This YouTube channel right here generates millions of dollars every single year. And today I'm gonna give you a full breakdown of how to create their videos step by step. Wherever you are, it's time to start making money with YouTube, and all without showing your face. Throughout this video, I'm gonna be dropping gems which you need to stick around for. So this is Brightside, one of the biggest faceless YouTube channels in the world with 44.6 million followers or subscribers. And what we're about to do is create a video exactly how they create it or better. Essentially, their page is about inspiration, creativity, and very interesting clickbait topics. These are the types of videos that we just tend to watch on YouTube, very interesting topics. Now, we're going to pick a video and we're going to basically recreate one of them. So let's look through their channel and see what we can kind of find. Let's say this one here, massive tsunamis could strike Europe soon. So let's actually press this video right here. Now, the first thing you want to understand is the script, or the first thing we're going to do is get the script. Now, one of the biggest mistakes people make with YouTube is basically just using ChatGPT to create your script, write me a script for YouTube about tsunamis. That's not the best way to do it. You're not going to be able to create scripts that actually compete with pages like this or with channels like this. So here is exactly how to use ChatGPT to the best of its ability. The first thing that we're going to do is actually look at the transcript of this existing video. So we're going to go over to the description, go to transcripts at the bottom and press show transcript. And what will happen is this will appear. If you see numbers on it, you can just press toggle timestamp and it will turn it on and off. So I'm going to turn it off. And what I'm going to do is literally just drag and copy all of it. So I'm going to press copy. Now I'm going to head over to my ChatGPT and I'm going to write this. So here is a script for a YouTube video. And then I'm going to put that in. Now, a lot of these places actually get their information from Google, from Reddit, from Quora, and lots of different places. So we're going to head over to Google and we're going to type in this exact thing. So I'm going to type in this, copy. I'm going to go over and put that. And you will see that this video comes up. So they've kind of ranked for this and you see that someone's already remade this, etc. But you will see that there is tons of websites or articles that already exist about this topic. And this is essentially what these channels do. They get, information from places like this and then reconstruct them. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick one of these. So let's say this one. So I'm going to go and then put an extra prompt. So here's a script for a YouTube video. Here is a blog from a website. And then I'm going to just copy all of this info here. Combine both of these into a new YouTube script similar to the one I just showed you. Now what ChatGPT will do is it will combine both of them, but base it off the first one. So the first one, this channel is proven to do well, 44 million subscribers. They know how to write scripts. So we're giving them the example scripts, then we're giving them new information. Then we're telling it to write that information in the same way that the script is written. So it will be a combination and similar. And the beauty of it is that when we use ChatGPT here, you'll see that this actually gives us ideas of how to actually edit the videos. So we can actually use this to help us edit our videos. So it's literally giving us prompts, as we edit our video. And that's literally the script done now. But, that literally took me a few minutes and I've done better than most people. So now let's move it over to the next section. And guys, at the end of the video, I'll be sharing a document which is going to be all about retention. There is no point making YouTube videos that people don't watch after 10 seconds. And I'm going to share with you 10 useful tips in a document at the end of the video. So stay tuned for that. Now it's about turning our script into a engaging voice. And here I'm using 11 Labs. Link will be in the description, but you can get started for free and have 10,000 characters each month, which is a lot of characters for anyone creating videos. So here I'm using a completely free version. And what we're going to do is we're going to go to ChatGPT, to our actual script. And here we have our first part of our script. So I'm going to press copy. Now on ChatGPT, you can get a bunch of different voices. And what we're going to do is go to voices over here and we're going to press library. As you press library, you can see here you have all these different kind of styles of voices. So narrative, story, conversational, characters, animation, storytelling, etc. So you want to kind of pick a voice which suits the style of your videos. You know, for this is kind of narrative and story. So I'm going to go for there and kind of listen to a few which, you know, potentially would be good. Now, something to take note of is this has been used by 82,000 users, and you can also check what's trending, which most users are using, most characters generated, you know, and it's a good sign when there's a lot of people using it. It means it's probably quite good. Okay, let's actually filter it to English. So you can actually do accents and stuff in English. Let's say any American, middle-aged. I want to go for something that has a bit of energy. So you just need to play around with it until you actually find one which suits your niche. So I will meet you at once I find one. And essentially, once you find one, it's just add to my voices, and then we'll move over to here and I'll meet you there. Okay, so I'm here on text to speech, and I'm going to add my script here. So I've added my script, and I'm going to press this, and I've picked, I believe, which one did I add? I added Andrew. So let me add Andrew and press generate speech. Now you can press settings.
Major cities on or near the Mediterranean Sea and the northeastern Atlantic Ocean is not a matter of if, but when. It's a chilling thought.
I really like that one. Now you can play with it more, you know, play around with stability, similarity, etc. And you can see that there is loads of kind of default ones. It's a matter of playing with it to find the voice that suits you. But once you've picked it, you just want to press this download button here. Obviously, I would put the whole script, but for the purpose of this video, I'm going to do just this intro to make sure that I can actually get through it with you guys, but you just want to put the whole script and generate. But now I'm going to go over here to download. Now I'm going to meet you at the editing software where the magic is going to happen, and we're going to start combining everything. Something that's important for you to understand is that everything I'm showing you in this video can be applied to basically any faceless video. You just need to use the methods that I'm showing you, the tools, etc., and apply it to the niche that you want to target. And when I mean niche, I mean the topic of your channel. What I'm providing is a skeleton. This is the skeleton of how you can start creating videos which are going to change your life. So for the purpose of this video, we're going to be using CapCut. You can use literally any editing software out there to create these videos, but we're going to be using CapCut. Now, I've added my 11 Labs voice into CapCut and it's ready to go. Now it's about filling it and making it epic. I'm going to split this up into a few different stages so that if you're serious about creating good videos, then you will have all the tools that you need to actually compete with other accounts. And I'm about to share exactly how you can do the same right now. Now, something that's important for you to do, especially if you're a beginner, editing your videos for the first time, is to have a reference point. So for example, as I'm editing this video, even though the scripts are different, I'm going to have this existing video next to me so that I can have it as a benchmark, so that I can compare my video, get inspiration, etc. throughout. And this is so important. You have to do this because I actually want you to get results. Now, the first thing is, let's go into ChatGPT, and you can see, as we saw earlier, that it actually gives us kind of some ideas of what we could put into our video. You know, we've got our script here and now we need to actually add some stock videos, etc. And it actually gives us information, but you can get even more information. So you can get even more guidance. This doesn't need to be complicated. So a prompt that I put was, for the opening scene, recommend me different stock footage I could use. So based on this intro, which is my script, it's told me I could use aerial footage of coastal cities, ocean waves crashing, underwater earthquake on animation. So all of this kind of footage would work great right here at the start. Now, today we have two options in terms of the stock footage. So here we have Pexels, which is a free website for videos and photos, and it does well in terms of giving you that kind of content. But we're going to be using Motion Array, which is a sponsor of this video and something I've been using for many years as a content creator. Now, Motion Array essentially is a marketplace which is full of assets for content creators, whether it's video templates, you know, like text, whether it's presets that already exist. So for example, if I want a preset for Adobe Premiere Pro in terms of this font, all of this, I can just download it and start using it. Whether it's footage, you know, which we're going to be using shortly, music, sound effects, graphics, it's literally got everything. And for a subscription model, it's absolutely important if you want to compete at the highest level. If you're going to pay for anything, this is the number one for that. The link will be in the description of the video. Okay, so now let's actually get started. So for example, let's go onto ChatGPT and let's look at this one, people on the beach. So I'm going to literally go copy and I'm going to go over to Motion Array. I've pressed footage and I'm going to paste that and I'm going to press enter and see what pops up. Here are a bunch of different people on the beach. Which one is going to work best? So let's have a look. I'm going to go with this one right here, as the wave also looks great. So I'm going to press download, and you can see on motion array, you can press like different, if I wanted to make this whole video in 4K, I could easily do that, but I'm going to do HD for the purpose of this video. Now I'm going to be really focusing on the intro of this video for this video that you're watching, just because if I create a 20-minute video right now, this video is going to end up being like 5 hours. So we've downloaded this. I'm going to drag this into CapCut, and let's listen.
A tsunami hitting major cities on or near the Mediterranean.
If we go back here, you'll see that they actually have an animation up until about 9 seconds, and then they have 2 different scenes, etc. So they're changing their scenes not too often, and I think for us, we're going to change it a bit more often. So here at 3 points, we can see a dip in our voice. I'm going to cut it right here. Now I need my next kind of
Mediterranean Sea and the northeastern Atlantic Ocean.
Okay, so let's actually see if we can get some like Atlantic Ocean, or kind of what would work well. So like these look pretty good. Atlantic Ocean, like this one looks kind of cool. So I can download that. And I can also put European, press X, and then put in European beach. Okay, that one looks great as well. So I'll download that, HD. Okay, cool. So I'm going to drag that, wait for that one, drag that, and now our video is starting to come to life. So let's see how that looks.
A tsunami hitting major cities on or near the Mediterranean Sea and the northeastern Atlantic Ocean is not a matter of if, but when.
That looks pretty good already. Now, if I go to text here and type in generate, it'll actually start generating my script into captions. So I can do that now. And you can just basically play around with this. Some of them are pro, some of them aren't. So if you want to do pro or don't want to do pro, then you just need to play around with it. For this one, I'm going to do it by itself. It's a chilling thought, as I like the kind of screen drop, and it could be, slightly different to the other ones.
But when? It's a chilling thought. Picturing places like King.
So what I'll do now is I will type in Barcelona. So I can do in like 2 here. So I'll press that. I'll press that. And then I will drag. And then I will drag. And then I'll put this. Okay. Now I want to get something like sad thinking to put it there. I think that suits the video great. So I'm going to download that. HD. And then let's add that here. And then, it's a matter of like repeating this same thing, in a matter of like half an hour, you could create this whole video. And, in my opinion, there is no AI which can create videos like this at a click of a button. If you think that these videos are created entirely with AI and there's not people researching them, there's not people actually putting an effort into these videos, then I honestly don't know what planet you're living on. Honestly, if you want to compete and actually create good faceless videos, you need to put in some effort, whether that's you editing the videos yourself or someone else. Let's rewatch it.
Hitting major cities on or near the Mediterranean Sea and the northeastern Atlantic Ocean is not a matter of if, but when. It's a chilling thought. Picturing places like Cannes or Barcelona suddenly overwhelmed by a colossal wave.
And remember, here you actually do have photos, graphics, etc. Now, we want to go back to our script, and you can see here that it actually tells us dramatic music. So we're going to go over to motion array, and we're going to go to music. And this is all copyright free, by the way. So you will not get any copyright from using anything on motion array. So my background music for videos, etc. is all from here. And that kind of not needing to worry about that makes life so much easier, because when you're putting an effort and suddenly things, you get copyright, etc., it makes it so much more difficult and annoying. So you can see mood. So easy listening, inspirational, dramatic. So I'm just going to type in dramatic and see kind of what pops up. And, this is why I love using motion array, because it's all kind of here in one go. I don't need to worry about, finding all these different places to give. I mean, let's try this one. What you want to do if it comes like this, you just want to go onto it and press extract audio, and then you can extract the audio. Then you want to bring it down to about 25 minus 25.
A tsunami hitting major cities on or near the Mediterranean Sea and the northeastern Atlantic.
Maybe even less, so you can go here and just play around with it. So I'm going to do actually maybe around there. See?
Tsunami hitting major cities on or near the Mediterranean Sea.
And then what you want to do usually is have like a specific kind of intro music. So this could be for the first, I don't know, let's see, first 14 seconds. So I could do that. And then I go on here and I can press fade out. So the last like 2 seconds, it fades out and you can see, and then I can also drag that around here. So let's try that again.
A tsunami hitting major cities on or near the Mediterranean Sea and the northeastern Atlantic Ocean is not a matter of if, but when. It's a chilling thought, picturing places like Cannes or Barcelona suddenly overwhelmed by a...
Maybe that one isn't the best one. So let's actually use this one instead. You know, it's a matter always of testing. I'm going to bring this down again to minus, like, let's try that.
A tsunami hitting major cities on or near the Mediterranean Sea and the northeastern Atlantic Ocean.
Make it a bit quieter.
Is not a matter of if, but when. It's a chilling thought, picturing places like Cannes or Barcelona suddenly overwhelmed by a colossal wave.
I think that works great. And what you would do is then just literally kind of replace or add a different kind of background music. So this one is still dramatic, but you'd find one maybe that is a slightly more easily listening, slightly more relaxed. And then throughout the video, for retention purposes, and by retention I mean keeping people engaged and watching the video, how do you use audio as well to keep people engaged? So boom, you know, you've got it for 20 seconds, then it changes audio and it kind of reignites people's mind. And then if you've got a dramatic part coming up, you would then potentially even use this again later on, and you just keep following that kind of model. So the next thing we would do, and the final thing, is check sound effects. So in their sound effects, I heard, you know, they have sound effects for when the camera moves, when people, you know, when they say something scary, you know, they've got people crying and stuff like that. And you can do the exact same thing. So you can press human here. Let's say wave here, for example. So let's type in waves and see what pops up, because this could be a good one. So waves and seagulls, I'll download that one, you know, to add a kind of dramatic feeling. So I'll press download and that will download. And I'm going to do this one even quieter than the other one.
A tsunami hitting major cities on or near the Mediterranean Sea and the northeastern Atlantic Ocean is...
So you see these little things kind of add more effect to the video. So if I go here, I type in, like, for example, they just had a camera movement. I could do the exact same thing. So camera movement. And it's just about finding all of these that kind of suit your video. And obviously you can use auto captions as we used earlier, or you can use it, you know, as for the whole video, or you can use it for certain points. So when she said, you know, or when the narrator said, you know, that's a chilling thought, you know, I could have like a certain style of text appear. So let's actually kind of just do it for that one. So for example, it's a chilling thought. And then pick a font, you know, that might work well. It's a matter of just playing around with it, you know, and adding these. Like, what I would recommend doing is basically, once you've done your first layer, so like done all of this and then added sound and potentially some sound effects, then you can do a final layer on top where you see small things like this.
It's a chilling thought.
Like, it just suddenly adds a whole different level to the video. And then it's, you know, that probably would take you like 10 minutes, you know, to just go along the video and not add text to everything. But when there's a certain point, it's like a chilling.
It's a chilling thought, picturing places like Cannes.
It just adds more. And, you know, on CapCut, you've got stickers, you've got effects and all of this stuff as well, which again, you can add. So essentially now you would just carry on exactly what I've said, and there would be your video. Now we're going to take everything and take it to another level. If you want to use Motion Array, which I highly recommend, the link will be in the description of the video, and you can get $50 off the annual subscription using my code. Here's a promised bonus. If you want to add movie clips to your YouTube videos to add some humor and some personality, I recommend using this website, ClipCav. At a type of a idea, you can get a bunch of different clips which you can download for free and simply add to your videos, something like this.
Houston, we have a problem.
For certain YouTube videos, this can really improve retention, you know, and get people enjoying your video. Thank me later. Okay, so we've done the video and you know basically how to create a full video that way. The beauty of Brightside is that they create really, really good thumbnails. And I'm about to show you exactly how you can create this and be smart with it. Okay, so the combination of what they've done is a massive wave with a very famous kind of European, landmark. So we're about to do the exact same. So we're going to use AI. We're going to use Leonardo AI. And here I've basically just created one, which is this Eiffel Tower. I thought, what other landmarks are in Europe which, are clickbait? And you need to basically do that. When there is an existing video, you're creating a video from a competitor and you're redoing it, it's just about rethinking, what could I do instead along that model? So I've basically done that. Now, to get the actual quote, it's very simple. So create me a prompt for Leonardo AI for a YouTube thumbnail which has a big wave crashing into the Eiffel Tower. And essentially it's giving me the whole thing. I've gone into Leonardo, which gives me free credit. So this is all free. And then basically it's giving me this thumbnail. And I can, recreate this if I wanted to, because it's giving me kind of the YouTube logo there without this. So I'm going to just remove that and just generate it again. Guys, look at this. Like, I don't know which one's best. I like this one. This one also looks good, but let's go with this one. And you can see what I mean. Like, this looks insane. So easy to kind of create that. It took me a matter of minutes. And now you know how to use ChatGPT and all of this combined. So we're going to go over to Canva. So let me open up my Canva. So I've got my Canva here and I've got my image, which I've just downloaded with AI. Now they basically said it's too late in the thumbnail, which makes people think, oh, I need to press it, and see what happens. You could put something like, so let's say this text here, let's put it's, you could put something like it's coming, so let's see actually what they did, which was it's too late. Okay. And it's super big as well at the top. So let's open up Canva. And also what I would do potentially is maybe like add a red arrow, or could add it like this, something like that. And it just kind of draws attention, and it's literally taken me that long. Obviously, again, you can use ChatGPT to actually even tell you ideas. There's so much you can do, but that looks pretty good. Compared to their one, it's relatively the same. It's a matter of just kind of using the assets, potentially making this bigger, putting this more here, maybe this here, playing around with it. But there's basically your thumbnail. Now it's about getting our title to make sure that our thumbnail and video gets views. Now we have two different options for this. So let me bring up the video. Okay, so here is our video, and this is the title that they've gone with. Now we have two different options. We could easily just go to ChatGPT and ask for different variations. So give me more variations of this YouTube title. So that's great, and these are probably really good, but what I recommend and what most people are using is vidIQ, and the link will be in the description. You can get started for $1, but essentially what you want to do is just put in your link, put in the title. So I've pressed generate, gone onto vidIQ, and I will press massive tsunamis could strike Europe soon, which is the title of the existing video. And what I will do is press generate, and basically it will start giving me clickbait high view titles, so Europe, and it will also give me the description and tags for when I create my video. But here is basically my description and title. Now I could again do this on ChatGPT, so I could go here and say give me a description for my YouTube video. Essentially I've got my description as well, but you can get it much easier, I think, and better qualified for SEO, etc. on vidIQ. Basically, you've got a video that is going to work. You've got a title, you've got a description, you've got the thumbnail. This is how you create faceless YouTube videos properly. You can get started with vidIQ for $1. The link will be in the description of the video. If you want to learn more about Faceless YouTube, then make sure you check out this playlist created by me, which is going to go through everything so that by the end, you are creating videos that are making you passive income. Let's grow.